let me see if I can go live now and let's test out everything. So you guys, welcome on in to the series. And I'm gonna share this with let me see if I can share this real quick in the community because I know that a lot of people have to get over here on YouTube. So welcome in. I just want to test it out as well. You guys, do me a favor and just put a comment. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Um, oh, what is this? Live view or comments show up on the streamer. Okay. Okay, so let me know if you guys can see it. And I'm going to try to alert some more people. Okay, so you guys just bear with us 1 second because it's text. So hopefully, okay, Sharon Power, I can hear you. This is Eliza. Okay, very good. I can see your comments. Can you see the comments on there? Chandra, can you see the comments on here?
So I can definitely see them on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see them on YouTube.
You can see them on YouTube. All right. So let me get my YouTube up real quick, and I am going to just alert everybody else, okay, so they can join in, and then we're gonna get started for tonight because I'm excited. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Let me share. Okay, so on the everybody that's on YouTube, right? Can y'all do me a favor and put a thumbs up? Can y'all do me a favor, put a thumbs up, and I'm gonna go into my communities now, and I'm gonna try to uh, do some a little techie. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna tag everybody. Put where you're checking in from, everybody, while I create this post. Put where you're checking in from. Da, 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 da. Okay, so now I'm just sharing this in my group so that way we can have these people on here now too. But Facebook does Charlotte. Okay, welcome. Facebook ban I ain't gonna say ban. Well, they do what they do, and they shadow ban my information, so a lot of people can't see it. Um, my first deal. Okay, Detroit. All right. Who else do we have here? I joined, but looks like it was at 6:30. Looks like somebody can't get in. Good gracious. Okay, so um hold on for a second. Colleen is saying 6:30. Everybody else, did anybody else have any problems getting in with the link that's in the community, in the school community? And Chandra, I'm gonna have to add you in there to the community as well. So that way you can see what's going on in the inside. Because I don't think you're in there, right?
Um, so I am in the
You
real
in there
estate millions community. Mm-hmm.
on school?
On school. Yep.
Oh, you in there. Okay. All right. Okay, so we have people coming in, and I'm gonna put this on my other page too. Okay, Texas.
Texas.
You just put now.
Welcome
Okay.
in.
Okay. What part of Texas? Oh, Stafford. Okay. And let me see if I can get one of my Miss Colleen. Miss Colleen says she can't get in. Okay. So what we're gonna do is tonight, I just want to welcome you guys to the series of my first deal. So you guys have asked, and I have been wanting to do something like this for a long time. And I said, actually, I reached out. How long ago was it that I put it in that chat? It was like a while ago. I was like, who done the first deal? And the lady's like, oh, me. And I had it in my head. And then I was like, okay, let's try to figure this out. Are you guys open to talk? They was like, yeah, then the dates got mixed up and then all the things, and now we're here. Okay. So other than that, hold on 1 second. I thought I posted something on my page. Who else? Chicago, no issues. If you are joining, just let me know where you're checking in from. We can get started in about 4 minutes, you guys. Let me just get everybody updated because I don't want people to miss the session. I know a couple of people are saying that they had issues, but maybe they can get on in here. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Oh my, I don't even have a post option. That's so weird. Okay, here it goes. Okay. All right, so Chicago. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started now. And pronounce your name for me.
Chandra.
Chandra. Chandra. Okay.
Yeah, it's a hard CH.
Okay. Chandra. My first deal. Okay. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about all the things, my first wholesale deal, how did you get started? Like I have one out here as well. And my deal that came, it was in 2019, and I have it out there on social media. Somebody did an interview on me about that. So I think it's good. Hey, High Point, I think it's good because it gives people the opportunity to kind of see what it is that happened. Like, how was your journey? How did you get started, and what made you get into it? So we're going to get into all the things. I'm super excited about that because I know how important it is to see someone get it through to the finish line, right? So, and then that's going to give people that motivation and that encouragement to go ahead and like, okay, you know what, I can do this too, and that's why we're doing this. So we're making this a series. I have some other ladies. I need to get some gentlemen too, but you know, I cater to my girls because I'm a girl's girl. I'm sorry, I'm just a girl's girl. But I cater to the girls, and I want them to come to, you know, give you guys some pointers and all the things. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, Miss Chandra,
Yeah, you got it.
Miss Chandra, can you let us know where you are from, where you currently residing at, and we're gonna get into the conversation in a little bit. So, everybody, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the chat too.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on your platform. I'm a super fan of yours. So,
Thank you.
yes, and congratulations to you and all that you're doing. You do pour into a lot of people, and so you are definitely you've made your mark. And thank you for remaining humble
Thank
and
you.
giving back because, yeah, you are an inspiration every day. Every day we wake up to choose what life we're going to live, and when I see those checks being cashed, I'm just like, that is definitely for me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm originally from Florida, and my
Oh
market
wow.
is, yeah. So born and raised in Florida, did a little bit of growing in North Carolina and DC. And now I am in the great big state of Texas. And so my market is Houston. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful. So you went from Florida to North Carolina. What part of North Carolina were you in?
Raleigh, Durham.
Oh wow. So you were down the street from me. And then you went to Texas. So Texas actually was on my radar at one point in time to move to, but the heat is just it's like the heat gonna
Yeah.
get out. Okay, so very good. Okay, so now you're in Texas. How long have you been in Texas?
Surprisingly, next Fat Tuesday, so next year it'll be 6 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, the time has flown by so quickly.
Oh man. So that's amazing. Okay, so everybody, y'all ready to get into it? Everybody give Chandra some fire as we get into the Q&A for tonight. Or the questions, we're gonna have like a dialogue, but I want you guys to just get some fire in the chat if y'all ready to get it started and understand how she was able to get this deal. Because there are some times where, you know, we'll get a deal and we think we got it and then it falls through. So, you know, we have to be very consistent when it comes to things like this. So, I just have a question.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
made you decide to try wholesaling as the first step?
So actually, because everybody has a program out there, right? And everybody makes it seem that like it's so easy. So actually, my mom is the catalyst to wholesaling. About 3 years ago, she got us into Jamil Damji's group. And
Oh,
we
okay.
started being mentored by him and Pace Morby. And yeah, it so that's where the journey started.
Mhm.
However, when you start wholesaling, you either have the inventory, but you don't have the buyers, or you have the buyers, but you don't have the inventory. And so on paper, on YouTube, it looks easy. Oh, all I got to do is get a property under contract. And then if it's a deal, then I can, assign that contract to an end buyer. But
Yes,
unfortunately, it wasn't that easy. And it just kind of felt like we were spinning our wheels, whether it's finding the deals or finding the end buyers.
absolutely. So before this deal, what was your life like? Like, what were you doing prior to that? Did you have a 9 to 5, or what was that like for you?
I've always been an entrepreneur all my life. Okay. So 2020, everybody remembers COVID, right? I actually moved to Texas from DC in February of 2020. And then we immediately had the stay in place. Texas wasn't as big on it as the other states. DC completely shut down. I've always been a photographer, and I actually moved to Texas to work with my brother as a wedding videographer and photographer.
Oh,
And so,
wow.
yeah, so I think we photographed one wedding that year, and it was kind of like real low key in someone's home because they were issuing fines for people who wanted to try to go out and work when you were ordered to stay home and not be in people's faces per se.
Right. You're not an essential worker. I think that they had it. Like,
Right.
if you're not an essential worker, you're supposed to be in the house. Like,
In the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Texas wasn't as strict about it, but who wants to get fined for it? It's just counterproductive. So we photographed one wedding, and so I had to pivot.
Hmm.
So real estate has always been something that someone has said to me when I was 15, when I was 25, when I was 35. Someone has always said, you love solving problems and helping people. You
Wow.
should be a real estate agent. Unfortunately, I just didn't have someone who, or I didn't even have the curiosity to say, okay, well, what do I do with that? Like,
Right.
how do I become that? And then,
Hmm.
of course, it's funny, my mom and I, we just had a conversation over Thanksgiving weekend. And I said, how the generational wealth would have been different for our family if you and daddy would have, instead of bought and sold houses, you did that for other people, right?
Right.
Because in my hometown, there is a real estate company that I've seen their signs since I was a child, and we were going off a little. We were doing a half marathon that past
Okay.
weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, and my mom was like, "Yeah, the son lives in one of these multi-million-dollar houses," and we were walking by multi-million-dollar houses on the river.
Hmm.
And it's just like, how awesome would that have been if that would have been for us? But of
Right.
course, back in the 80s and the 90s, real estate was not for us. You know what I mean? It was
Hmm.
for other people, right?
That's
So,
right. Absolutely.
but we can't live on what could have, should have, would have been. But to fast forward, so yeah, my mom has always been in network marketing. My grandparents, I've been in my share of network marketing.
Listen, me too.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
companies were
So
you in? What companies were you in? Let me see if I was in one of those.
all right, let me go way back in the day. Quick Star. I've been in Quick
No,
Start.
no.
Okay, I've been in Five Links.
I was in
Okay, you've been in Five Links. Of course, near and dear to my heart. Hey, hey, Mary Kay.
I was in Mary Kay.
Mary Kay. And I think I might have done a vitamin thing, but spending
Yeah,
money is a part of the process, right?
that's
Spending
right.
money, recruiting people, and networking with people. I do
Right.
not knock MLMs, but I think we also did some type of like a flower trying to, if you sow in some money, everybody donates money, and then
Oh,
eventually
you're talking
it'll come
about the
around
what they call it, Zusu or Susu or
to
something.
sewer.
Was that
Yeah,
what
something
it
like that. Yeah.
is?
But all
Wow.
all of these different routes, right, to make or start to create generational wealth. And I tell you, my mom, she will buy any program that will put her towards that path. I think she also did some cryptocurrency stuff. But
Wow.
so yeah, but
Yeah. Good old network marketing.
yeah, but there's a different way, and we know that real estate creates the most millionaires. So we could do it for ourselves, but it does require mentorship,
Yes.
and consistency.
Very.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So
and
it takes and the thing I like what you just said when you say consistency, because I have some people that do it and then they're like, oh, I haven't got a deal in 3 months. And I'm like, you got to keep working at it. So that's that. Somebody said TLC and party lit was my thing. Was it party lit? Oh yeah. So, but yeah, so MLMs, and the thing was, I'm gonna be honest, I had a through this MLM, I had someone reach out to me again at this stage, and they're just like, hey, and we all know, do you keep your options open? I'm like, well, I know them. Let me see if I can just get on here for a second. And then I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just gonna be honest. My success came from me saying, I'm going to be laser focused on what I'm doing. I don't want to hear anything else about anything else. If real estate is going to be it, then real estate is going to be it. I don't want to hear about the travel company that is. I think like everyone has their place, but for me, that era of my life went out, right? Because I understood, like you said, not knocking network marketing. It taught me the power of leveraging and having, residual income. And then I'm like, I can have those things with real estate. I can have, and then I have something to pass down. With network marketing, you don't own the company. You're just you're part of the company, right? But you don't tangibly own a thing that you can pass down to someone else. And I was like, real estate hit all the boxes for me. So what made you do, okay, so from photography, you're saying, okay, we had to stay in place. So is it that you had to just hone in and say, okay, now I just want to get back into wholesaling, or let me try to do this? What was that turning point like for you when you said, okay, let me just go ahead and stick to this and see what I can do at this point?
right, yeah. So I knew I had to pivot, and
Yeah.
I went to school. I said I'm going to get my real estate license. And so I didn't know that you could get it in 6 weeks. I took the community college route and did it in 12 months, which was ridiculous, but it's okay. It was a whole year's worth. I had time, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Here I am taking courses online, but in the back of my head, of the thousands of dollars my mom paid, the one thing that stuck was you do not have to be licensed to be a wholesaler. Stuck in the back of my head. But I'm thinking, yeah, but I want to sell pretty houses, but there's also a million agents in Houston. So I was like weighing all of the options. It was time for me to finish up, and my grandmother passed away.
Oh, sorry to
It
hear
just
that.
when something happens, it's like I'm supposed to be taking my state test, and then I'm going to a funeral. Maybe this is just not the right time for me to get my license. So with that, with me having that, I don't have to be licensed to do this. So let's see. All right, so let's look into wholesaling. Let's give it another try. One thing that I learned before was, when you have a real estate agent involved on your deal, they can complicate things. They're doing what's unrealistic for, the seller. And so it
Yes.
kind of puts a lot of red tape. And so it got frustrating. So I prayed about it, and I said, I really want to do wholesaling. I really believe that this is for me. I do want to help people in a certain niche.
Mhm.
And I got online, I found a company, And I have actually been with them ever since. So I've been with them for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, we help homeowners who are experiencing foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how it is in other markets, like outside of other states, but when it comes to your lender foreclosing on you, there is no redemption period. So your auction date is set. Of course, you have a deadline that you can reinstate, pay your past due amount. You can do a loan modification, um, or you can just give the house back to the lender, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I started working with a company where we genuinely want to help homeowners navigate the situation, because you can, if you do have income, you can apply for loan modification if you're not a certain amount before your auction, or you
Mm-hmm.
can state your loan. And um, so yeah, but so I started working with them 3 years ago. Now, let me tell you, like, you can do this with the man, you can do this without a man, but you cannot
Uh-huh.
do anything against a man.
Mm-hmm. I like
Okay.
that. I
Yeah,
like that.
that was my lesson learned for 2023. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I had to stop what I was doing because there are not a lot of women in this industry, and we knock on doors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We knock on doors, and I have a lot of gentlemen that knock on doors, because most door-to-door sales are men.
Mm-hmm.
My husband at the time, he was like, I don't like you knocking on people's doors. People are being very disrespectful because they're hurt and they're confused and they're angry. And then I don't like that you work with a lot of male counterparts. So I had to take a break.
Wow.
Yeah. And go through a separation. And so it was a year of not, you know, doing appointments, but not signing any contracts. And of course, a lot of people don't understand that sometimes you have to acquire the home right above the payoff. So there
Mm-hmm.
isn't really room for the seller to get any money. And then if they do get some money, then possibly, it's enough to just help them move, or pack and move, maybe help them with a fresh start, maybe just getting their deposit for their apartment, or, so it's sometimes it's very tight, but they avoid foreclosure. They avoid the embarrassment of the auction. They avoid, because in Texas, they will put your stuff out in the
We
street.
say stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Push
yeah.
out quick.
I don't know. I don't know about other markets, but could you imagine coming home to see your stuff on the street? Now everybody knows your business. So
Yeah, yeah. That embarrassment.
yeah,
That's
it's
that
devastating.
embarrassing alone. That's why I get when I'm talking to some people now. Some of them just dragging their feet. They're not motivated, right? And so they're just like, oh, and the next thing, and I had one that went to foreclosure tech, and I'm like, I tried to help you, and now it's nothing. So we can't save everybody. So let me ask you this: how did you find your first deal, the one that you were able to get across the finish line?
All right, so knocking on doors, that's really it.
Wow,
I
so you
mean,
door
there are
knocking.
other ways, but yeah,
Yeah.
knocking on doors. We have a solid 3 weeks to reach the homeowners. So, for instance, the January auction coming up, and so this week will be my last week. But yeah, just knocking on doors, and sometimes, but this particular deal, I had, because leveraging people. So I have a team that knocks on doors with me, and
Okay.
she actually knocked on the door back in September. Yeah, back in September. Yeah,
Okay.
we're in December. Yeah. So back
Yeah.
in September, she knocked on the door, reached out to me, said, "Hey, I connected with the homeowner. Can you come and sit down? Absolutely. So yeah, we sat down with the homeowner and we looked at all of our options. The homeowner
So
was,
let me ask you. Now that brings me. I think I over. Okay, so you work with a company where y'all pull data about mortgages to see if they're past due with mortgages, and then you have a team that you work with to actually go to the house to actually door knock.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you pull in this data, it's no cold calling, it's no mail. Do you guys try that, or you go straight to we're in the field?
Now, you know, these people are not answering their phone. They are
So
not opening. They're not
this is
opening their mail.
different.
Yeah, we are knocking on their door from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock in
Wow.
the
So
evenings. Yeah.
what is that conversation like? I guess once you go to the door to and this person opens the door. How what does this give us a idea of what takes place when you knock on this person's door that's in this foreclosure?
Well, you definitely have to just read the energy. Some people don't open the door. Some people talk through the door. Some people talk through the window. Some people open the door because they're just ready to like stop hiding. They do want some type of resolution. Uh, we have people who come to the door with weapons. Yeah, machetes, guns. Yeah, we're in
Ooh,
Texas, so yeah, yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely not for the uh yeah,
Not for
it's
the
not for
weak.
the like the meek and the lighthearted. No, yeah, you
So
have
do
to
you have
have.
guys going out? Are they like in suit, dressed up in suits, look business professional, or what is that like when you have your street team?
Oh, just business casual, because you don't want to look like uh adult protective services and you don't want to look like the bank. You just want to look like a neighbor. Hey, I'm your neighbor. I was just in the area. Yeah, just
Dogs.
yeah, like now if I do dress like this, it's because I'm coming from church, and yeah. But yeah, you don't want to look too tight because a homeowner can smell a salesperson. They don't want to talk to a salesperson.
Wow.
Everyone in this situation, the first thing they say is, I don't want to sell my house. But unfortunately, that's not even like your house is going to get sold. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't like that either. But yeah,
Involuntarily.
yeah. I
So
mean,
this
the bank
first
is
deal,
choosing to sell it.
yeah,
So
they're gonna
yeah,
sell it
we're
either way.
beyond that
So
point.
yeah. So you had a street team that actually went out to door knock and they reached a homeowner and the homeowner was willing to have a conversation with her and she related back to you. Is that how that worked? And then
Yeah,
you okay, so take us through how that whole ordeal went.
yeah. So we take brief, very short information, like just a quick questionnaire about, have you applied for a loan mod? Do you know what your payoff is? Do you have your most recent mortgage statement? Of course, all of those answers were no, no, and no, which is fine. Time to come back. Are you married? No. Okay, perfect. So we set it for 2 days later, and the homeowner was smiling at the door, just, waiting for us to come in and sit down. And we genuinely wanted to know what options are available to her. So the loan modification was not available to her. You have to have at least 30 days. And unfortunately, a lender will tell a homeowner that you can receive the app. No, you we'll send you the application and you can fill it out, but they do not have to approve it. They do not have to honor it. They don't have to do anything, but they do have to give it to you.
Mm.
Then, do you have a rich brother or uncle that can reinstate you? How much is your reinstatement?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, well, I have 401k. Okay, perfect. Maybe that's what you should do. You should dip into your 401k and just reinstate yourself. Um, so yeah, we just find out what possibly
Mm.
could help the homeowner. Now, a big part of our final decision, so the homeowner may not be in the mindset to sell have to read that. But once we look at the condition of the home, then sometimes we do need to gear them towards, you're just not living. You're not living, you know, your
Yeah.
water's not on, your plumbing's not working, you know, you got a leak in your roof, you have mold in your closet. Like, so
So they
sometimes
just
we do
stand there.
start. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So did she? So when she went to the door to talk to the lady, are you asking questions like right then? Like how do you build that rapport when you're going, or I guess when they're going door to door? Like, hey, I'm a local investor here in the area. I want to speak to you about how's that conversation, I guess, when you go up to talk to someone. Because I understand like you have like a sheet of questions, well, a couple of questions that you gather, but what is that initial interaction like with the seller?
All right. So
Because,
I'm
or do you let them know that, okay, well, we kind of know that you're in foreclosure, so we help homeowners in this situation. We just wanted to know if you'd be willing to speak with us about it. How does
Mhm.
that conversation go?
Yeah. So, like I said, every homeowner is different. I have been greatly intimidated by men because they're very straight to the point. They're very protective. And so I just find myself just leaning in and saying, I'm here to talk to you about your home situation. And a lot of people, however they reply,
Mm-hmm.
they say, well, what are you talking about? Or I got it taken care of, or get the hell off of my property. Whatever they say, just, sometimes I'm brave. Sometimes
That's
I'm just
brave.
like, we'll fight this battle another day. I'll come back when you feel better. Obviously, you're not feeling good today, but yeah. So it just depends. But yeah, I like to lean in. I don't like to be loud. Some people want us to yell across the yard. Like you don't want me to yell about this. you you
This is
really want
actually the
me.
first I've heard a straight door knocking team. I tell people about door knocking and postcards and things like that, but as a result of we can't get them cold calling or we can't get the next we can't. So we have like a protocol. But it sounds like you are just okay, we have data, let's hit the streets, right? We have
Right.
the data, let's go and see if we can kind of save this person or either wholesale it. So can you tell us what was the moment, I guess, with this deal to let you know, okay, this could work. Like this could possibly be my first deal that I'm getting across the finish line.
Okay. So I do want to say that there were 19 contracts before this one, and each one had a different finish line. Not ideal, but some are still pending to close. Some are caught up in litigation, because sometimes we can have our attorney help them fight their
Mm-hmm.
lender. And so a contract that I wrote back in January of this year is still, they're suing their lender. So
Mm.
yeah,
So
so
caught up.
that's,
Yeah.
but the, to actually have a contract where it's executed, opened at title, in buyer secured, closed. And I posted it on Facebook. I went to the title company, because we have title companies here in Texas,
Mhm.
for the seller to sign her paperwork, and it was just over the finish line. But what was your question?
So let me see. What was the question I had? I had a couple on written down. What was the moment that made you realize, okay, this deal could possibly be the one that's gonna get through to the finish line? Like, okay, she's open to hearing the conversation. We went through her financials. We understand her mortgage. Do you feel comfortable with sharing what that first check was like? Like the amount that you was able to get?
Sure.
Okay.
So now, because I work with a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I get paid off of the amount that was acquired. So what we offered the homeowner, I get a 4% off of that.
Okay.
just like an agent.
Okay.
But I don't pay for title, I don't pay for notaries, I don't pay for lawyers, I don't pay the marketing, I don't pay. All I do is
Okay.
I knock on the door, set the appointment, and I write the contract. That's what I get paid to do. And so, but it's still the same concept because I have to acquire the property. So let's say that uh
Now,
I
let me ask you this. Was she okay? Because you deal with mortgages. Was she able to? Because I know you said sometimes the numbers are tight because then they have to pay you out of that. But is what happened with her? I guess was she able to move into because the house prices now are high. Like was she
Mhm.
able to get into an apartment, move with a family member?
Yeah,
Like how was her part where she was able to sell covered mortgage or whatever? What did that look like? Did she
yeah.
have
uh,
time to get
Right.
out the
Yeah.
house or?
So we offered her a fresh start, and because the numbers were tight, it did allow for her. We paid for her packers and her movers, which was about 4,000. We
Mm,
paid for the first month's rent and deposit, which was 4,000. And
wow.
so yeah, but I
So she
mean,
ended up moving into an apartment from the house.
yeah, she ended up moving into a shared living space.
Oh, we have a lot of people in the community that's doing shared living. So you guys hear that? That could be an avenue for you guys that's doing because I do shared living too. But that could be an avenue for you. How did you find the shared? Did your company take part, or did she find her own shared living place to move into?
So we were actually trying to put her in an assisted living place, and um, because you do meet a lot of people that can provide different services. Another homeowner we helped earlier in the year, I just reached out to the person who has shared living homes, properties, and he
Mhm.
was able to place her.
Okay, so y'all see how my wheels are turning because this is one thing that we talked about in the real estate millions community, which is from wholesale to hose. One of the holding strategies is the shared living or the group home. So now my mind is like, okay, so if we know that people are on the brink of foreclosure and they have to get out this house, we can provide them with solutions for shared living. One, because I'm automatically thinking like, where is she going to go to when everything is high, right? Rent is skyrocketed. Also, houses she can't even pay what she has now. So where is she gonna go? So the option was shared living space. So for those of you that's in that, or you guys have that as an exit strategy, this would be something that I would say maybe tap into and try to work with. um I don't know what to call it. Work with some people that can be able to place them, like if they're on the brink of foreclosure, maybe leaving something on the door. Just say we have rooms available, rooms for rent. Put some sticky notes on the door, like rooms available. Okay, send some mailers out. That's what I would do. I would send like a mailer to their address and say rooms for rent. Okay, for these people that's on the brink of mortgage foreclosure. Now, ding, 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 ding. Because now I'm like, okay, we could still do the same thing and then have them solutions, but then also be on that other end of, okay, let's help get this let's make sure we can stop this foreclosure, put some money into your pocket, and then maybe get you lined up to get into some type of space to where you can afford it. Okay. So y'all did y'all catch that little nugget? Did y'all catch that little gem? Um, Stacy said, I didn't even think of offering shared living as an option when trying to help homeowners. Now, see, now this is something. See, I want y'all to listen and pick up like little gems out of these series. Okay, so it could be something that can help you along. But for me, that just put something else in my um in my real estate Rolodex of knowledge because I'm like, now I can go out here and then kind of reverse engineer. If I need people that's going, yeah, why not? I like that. So, like that, that's some good gems. I would take that. So I need y'all to write that down. Target these people that's in mortgage foreclosure. Start, and especially if you have some houses to fill, I will go right over there. Get your postcards, sticky notes, rooms. Put a bandit sign right at the corner of the street and say rooms. rooms for rent, right? Just like they be like, we buy houses, sign. I would stick them right out there somewhere around. I know them houses are being foreclosed on. We have rooms available for rent. Okay. So that's good. I like that. So what was that first deal going through the finish line? Were you like, okay, I made the right decision with going this route? Now, I know you said that you went the community. Did you ever get your license or did you just decide to be an investor?
Yeah, just be an investor. Yeah.
Okay.
But to get it to the finish line, so our end buyers, we had two end buyers walk the property. And dispo, I don't have to participate in dispo because of the way, our company is structured. The first end buyer said it was too much. And then the
Mhm.
second one, he just wanted to know, uh, will she be out before we close? Or she has to be out before we close. And so
Mhm.
that's a really big thing here because unfortunately, a lot of end buyers don't want to have to deal with evicting anybody or tying up their money, uh, trying to get the person out of the house. They, you know, the house had to be cleared out and they were ready to have their dumpster there. Like all of these things have to be in place in order for us to close. And so finding her a shared living space was high priority, having her packed and in the moving truck and then having her whole house emptied out because unfortunately she was a hoarder and
Yeah.
sometimes we find that in these situations that they're just not everything is in disarray, their finances, the way they live, everything is upside down. And so um seeing those hurdles, right? Like,
Mhm.
okay, how is she going to take us packing her in such a short time, not knowing where she's going to move to next, having to make sure that's going to be in place, and then actually moving her because well, you don't know, but a homeowner can change their mind at any time. And if they offer any resistance, all of your effort, all of your work will just be for nothing, right? You know,
Mhm.
uh, Sometimes you just have to walk away and just be
Yeah.
married to the process, not the results.
Yes, absolutely. Was she by herself
She
or she was
was,
single? Okay.
yeah.
Because I'm thinking
Which which
it could
didn't make
work
it.
better with going in there versus a family that has to get out and you have to find them somewhere to stay. Share living might not be an option for that because if it's cats, dogs, a brother, it gets a little complicated. But single individuals, I think that would work for shared living for sure. Um, and you said she was a hoarder. I actually ran into a hoarder house. I couldn't step foot in. End up wholesaling it. But yeah, so I can understand how that how that is as well, and then making sure that we can provide those solutions to them, especially when we have to pack them up and get them out of there and get you somewhere else before we can close on this transaction and we can close on this deal. So absolutely. So when you were at the point of title and you had the contract locked up, the one buyer said it was too much, and then the other buyer said it was okay. Okay, he was going on with that. What was your frame of mind at that point? Were you like, okay, I'm excited? First one, what was those reactions like when like, okay, this is about to go through?
So honestly, because it was a lot of ups and downs and other deals that, you just don't smile, like you stay optimistic, but you just,
Yes.
like let me just go through the process and then yeah, I had to maintain my composure and I was coaching someone and because everything was happening so quickly, she's trying to take notes and I'm like things are more caught than taught. So you just
Yeah.
got to see me do it. But when we actually went to the title company and she signed her closing documents and it was just like, this is what it's about because from the initial knocking on her door, finding out how we could best help her and assist her, and then everything else fell into place. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's, this is why I do this, not for the check, but there have been so many homeowners who, God's going to take care of me. It's going to be a Christmas miracle. I'm hoping and I'm wishing, or they're just like, my bank is gonna. We've had a lot of pushback, and it's like, I am your hope and I am your miracle and I am your, I'm here to help you. Like, this is your answered prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So when you deal with a lot of homeowners who just are delusional, because they are ignorant and delusional, yeah, so I was praying and I was pinching myself, God, can it really be this easy? Is it supposed to really
Is
be like this?
is this the one?
But it was well deserved, because when I look at all of the contracts, I mean, and then if I'm truly committed to helping you with your loan modification, or helping you, acquire, not helping you find the funds, because I'm not entrusting you, I'm not giving you any money to fix your situation, but helping you find the funds, then I'm committed to helping the homeowners. So whatever that end result is, I'm perfectly good with it, because I'm signed up to help you, not necessarily buy your house. But if we conclude to buy your house, and if that's the solution, then I'm definitely okay with that.
Awesome. I know sometimes the numbers can be up there from wholesaling, where we have to do different types of strategies on the back end for exit, such as the subject to, taking them over subject to. Do you find like have you have some of those where you're able to go in and take over the payments versus actually kind of selling the house as of
The
yet?
numbers, yeah, the numbers do not work for subject to, when, because you want a low interest rate and you
Mm.
want a low entry fee. And so ideally, you would think that somebody would come in and take it over. But if you have to reinstate 40, 50,000 plus pay our fee, that's not a
Mm.
deal.
Yeah, sometimes the numbers, and that's what I try to tell my community. It's really all about the numbers as to what bucket it's going to fall into. So, like I tell them, we cannot force something to be a wholesale deal. We can't force something to be another type of deal. But if it fits, it's going to fit, right? So that, and it's funny. I was smirking because one of the girls in my huddle prior to this, she has something under contract now, and she's just like, "Well, I had some more that fell through, so I don't know what to feel right now until it gets crossed to that finish line." So I was just like, "Yeah, I understand," because at some point you're just like, "I had so many. Is this it?" I don't want to get my hopes up too high because the other ones is already they fell through, but we just have to understand that it's like you said initially, it's gonna take work, it's gonna take you being consistent. But I tell people all the time, like, don't count the money until it's in your pocket. Because if anything, um and what you say, she's on here. If anything, it's so easy to be like, okay, this one, can we get this one across the finish line? So I know exactly what you're saying. It's like, okay, we had so many because of this happening and this happening and this happened that we couldn't even get across the finish line, right? And I did have, and then I'm gonna be honest, like the first one that I did, I was excited. I did have one where someone tried to backdoor me and steal my deal, but that first one, I just felt it in me. I was like, we're gonna get this across the finish line. Like, but it's a lot of ups and downs with it. It's a lot of learning lessons. So what are some of the lessons that you learned from this transaction that you would share with other people? What's, something that you would take away from it?
Um, Definitely always being present, and it's what the homeowner needs, but also being firm, because
Mm-hmm.
she or he has never experienced being foreclosed on. And so when somebody is like, kind of, well, I think I'll be fine, putting your foot down and saying, look, lady, look, man, I'm going to tell you how the story's going to end, and you're not going to like it. And I will pull up my phone. I will show them text messages of people who are texting me about, I wish I should have listened to you. I wish I should have sat down with you. Is there any way you can help me now? And I'm like, once you have an auction date and you have not done the things, not working with your bank, you have not done the things to secure you more time. It's just
It's
on.
like
Like I see this 100 times this month. You're not different. The bank is not going to just give you a loan. We hear that a lot. Oh, the bank is just going to give me
oh
another
yeah.
loan. No, you fumbled. You fumbled your loan. They're not going to just give you another one. So,
I've
yeah.
had so many that actually fallen through for foreclosure, and I'm looking it up, and I'm like, "What in the world?" And I was talking to you, and I was consistent. I'm telling you, I can help you, and they just sit there like, okay. I'm just like, okay. So that's and it's crazy. I'm not gonna say it's crazy, but it's like we can't save everybody, but we can do our best by trying to make those solutions, like you're saying, giving them options, letting them know, okay, these are some other things that you might want to consider. And I want to tell my newbies, like, you have to stay consistent, and just know, I want you to know, if you tried your best, be content with that. Okay, because ultimately, like she said, it's going to be up to the seller if they're going to if they're going to submit and say, I'm going forward with this, I'm going to go ahead and sell this property. And I can just tell you real quick here, I had one person, and I just kept calling. I built up the rapport with the guy, and I'm like, hey, it's at the auction right now, which is tax foreclosure, but it's like, it's at the auction right now. It was his mother's house. They were living out of state. And I'm just like, I want to put money into your pocket versus this happening. You are the heir to the property. I love dealing with heir properties. And so I'm just like, I can help you with this. And I'm talking to the guy. His wife texts me, and she's fussing me out. Like, why are you calling my husband? Now, I was on the phone talking to her first. And I'm building up the rapport with her and him. And it was just crazy because I was just like, man, me and her was like on the phone talking about Thanksgiving dinner and how she went. It was just bizarre. And I think she was trying to sabotage him for not getting that house, because that's what ended up happening. Like, it didn't go. And I looked back up, and I was like, this house went to auction. And
Wow.
I was so upset, because I'm like, I tried. So I want you guys to know, like, if you try, just don't beat yourself up. Just understand that, as long as you put your best foot forward, you are consistent, something's gonna happen. It's really a numbers game, right? Like she said, she had probably 19 deals prior to this one even coming through. So take that as a lesson, from out of her story, that, not all of them are gonna hit. Okay, be okay with that. Just understand that you have to do your part and try to push as hard as you can. And then whatever falls through, it falls through. But we got to keep on going. We got the, she didn't stop when stuff didn't go, not go through. She kept going. Okay. So just understand that. But it's possible she was able to get the deal across to the finish line. And get a commission off of it by working with the company that she's under. But you guys can do this. We're no different from you. The only thing we did was make up in our mind. By the way, I went to school to be an agent too, like you. And when I found out I didn't have to get that to be an investor, I opted to be an investor. And it took me years of trying to figure out, how do I get into real estate without no money, no credit, right? And so I was able to figure that out on this journey. I found out about wholesaling in 2010. This is 25. We're not on 2026. So you guys just have to be consistent. And like she said, everybody was talking about it. Everybody's teaching it. It's out there. The only thing you guys have to do is apply yourself. She took action and said, this is what I'm gonna do. And this is the route that I'm going. She went from what, photography? And said, like, she was gonna do photography to this. She made up in her mind this is what she was gonna do. All the stars aligned. And here she is with her deal. Can you let them, are you okay with telling them how much the deal was? Your
So
commission?
my commission, yeah, it was like 5,500.
5,500. So for
Mm-hmm.
some of you guys, that extra $5,000 a month can change some things, right?
Yeah.
The extra $5,000 can change some things right now in your life. Like you could pay off some debts, you can get your head above water. You can do all of the things, but you have to be consistent. I put the free course in the community for you guys, the same course that I have been charging people for. The free flipper contracts course is inside the community. No one has any excuses anymore, other than, oh, I ain't had time to do it. But you got to get out your own way. Because now we're coming into 2026 and I need y'all to stay focused. And I'm bringing these people on so y'all can get inspiration from them to know that if they did it, you can do it too. She had to plug herself in and she said, she said, help me pay this boy's tuition. So it could be some life-changing money. But stick with it and keep planting seeds. So while you're waiting on that one to come through the finish line, I need you. And when I first started teaching this, I would tell people have the picture of a baseball field. Okay. So you want to start getting those bases loaded. And while you're waiting and you're making these phone calls and you're like, okay, I got one here that's a possible. You still gonna load them up. So don't just count and put all your eggs in that one deal. Like, oh my God, I'm just waiting for this one to come through. You got to plant seeds. Okay. And keep planting those seeds until something hit that home run. Keep trying to get the bases loaded until you can get that home run. All right. So I'm excited for all of you because you guys tapped in tonight and you wanted, to hear the series that we're going to bring a lot of people on. So that way you guys can understand what they did different. And what stuck out with this interview is that they do door knocking. I haven't spoken to anyone that went straight to door knocking. Okay. I tell people to do the sticky notes. Of course, I say door knock too, but as a mean of we can't get a hold to. Okay. And I say contact them by any means necessary. This is my first time hearing about we have a team, a street team, and we go out door knocking to provide.
Yeah. Yeah. Because our leads are, so the person who makes the appointment, who knocks the door and sets the appointment, is the rep who actually goes in unless they need a field trainer or a manager. And so at some point we will have 20 people knocking in one area or only 2 people knocking, but it takes, so we know that if you knock 10 doors, you'll make 1 appointment. 10 doors a day, you'll make 1 appointment. We know that 40 interactions, you'll get 1 contract. I have written 4 contracts in 2 days.
That's nice.
It's a numbers game. It was a very long day.
It's a numbers game.
I've called a notary. I've called a mobile notary to the location at 1 a.m. to make sure we get it notarized.
And that's y'all heard her. She said 1 a.m. We have to get this done. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I try to put resources out there too, so you guys can know, like within the community, what people that, whatever services they provide, I put that in the chat. Or in the group. So we have a directory, we have some notaries. So if you guys are listening to me and you are a notary, or if you are something that you need to be on that directory, get in there and put yourself on there so you could be a resource to the community if they need someone. Okay. You want to, Miss Iris said she wanted door knock. Do they work off referrals also?
So that's what I'm working towards. So this month has been, I received 3 referrals. And it's different, right? But you still have to build a rapport with the seller. If they have an agent, you gotta rub shoulders with them. It was a different experience. Some sellers who, everybody wants $1 million for their property. So I have a house just sold for 534. In his neighborhood. It sold as is, but he said, I'll wait for 760. We offered him 510. And so it's going to be, he's like, I'm not desperate. So I appreciate, the referral, but some people who aren't desperate are not realistic either. So
There, yeah, yeah. And that's a good point. That's a good point. We have to make sure they are motivated to sell.
right.
Miss Irene, I would say you can go. She said she wants a door knock. I would say, have a solid plan and be careful. Okay. Roro, she says I'm a notary here in NC. No, Stacy and Roro, it's a community directory in real estate meetings on the school platform. Make sure you put it there. Okay, so we can reach out to you guys if we need to. I need everybody to kind of plug into what we have available. But yeah, I would say that's something to think about. And I'm like, I'm just a visionary, so I'm thinking too. Like I could put me a little street team together and it be like, listen, I'll train y'all what to say. Y'all go out there, and I'll give y'all a commission if y'all can, get them to a yes. So it has your wheels turning, and I love that. And that's why I love real estate, because there's so many different ways that you can kind of get creative in doing these things. Um, Miss Irene, you're in Texas too. I want to say, I think she's in Texas. I forget what part, but I would say get something together or get the guys. But like she said, you still have to be careful, because then you got people that might want to shoot you, right? Like I don't want no
Yeah.
problem. I don't want any problems going to your door. So we have to be cautious with dealing with a lot of things. Um, but just understand, you guys got it. Okay, if you I just want y'all to stick through it, pull some motivation from this. Okay, and what's I'm trying to think, mm, is there anything on your journey that you would have done differently if you would have started sooner, or is there anything that you kind of said, okay, I wish I would have did this before this?
Yeah, definitely started sooner. And yeah, that would be the number one thing. Just started sooner. And yeah, that's it. But
Started sooner. That
yeah, but
that was my
I never did cold calling, even with Mary Kay, to go up to someone and try to offer them a service. I've like, because I was raised that children are better seen than heard, right? And so as an adult, if you don't talk to me, I probably will not say anything. So
right.
I had to learn a lot, knocking on doors. My son, I have a 27-year-old son, and he was doing window sales here in Texas. And so him knocking on doors did not encourage me at all, because he was like, yeah, mommy, somebody tried to shoot me. They chased me down with a gun. They chased me down with their car. And so when I started doing this, because of his interaction that he had knocking on doors, I thought, man, I must be crazy. Like, it takes a lot of courage. I will say that, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot of courage.
It does. It does.
But we are covered by the blood. We will not live in fear. And then you have discernment. One of
Yeah.
my reps, she will call me and she will say, I do not feel good about knocking on this door, while she's
Right.
knocking on the door. And I'm like, well, honey, don't go knock on the door.
Knock on the
And
door.
then she'll be like, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, why are you knocking on the door? I thought you said you didn't feel good.
I know. I've had those moments out there. She said we pray and then we go.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
I've had those moments. I looked up her dress and I went to it, and then when I got on the outside, I was like, oh no, oh no. I just when that happens, I just do a quick little sticky note, and stick it on there, and I'm gone. And then I'm like, either they gonna call or they're not.
Or they're not.
Um,
And I will
yes,
say that if you knock in pairs, if you knock with your partner, you will have doors opened more often for you. And
okay.
so, yeah, but
Yep.
always knock the door with a smile. You're here to bring good news. And then it doesn't even have to be about their house. Do you know a lot of people are just living lonely, dirty, hopeless? It could just be, I'm just saying hello to you. I'm just checking up on you. It could be that simple. It does not have to be about their home situation.
Yeah, absolutely. People business. Roro asks, do you ask the homeowners for documentation up front or after the appointment is set? Like, at what point does the
Yeah.
documentation?
So we just because you don't want to do the appointment at the door, if you answer all the questions or if you ask all the questions at the door, you don't need an appointment. So we just say, hey, do you have your most recent mortgage statement? You know, did you apply for a loan modification? Because it's also layering that this is why I'm talking to you, so that when you come back for the appointment, if they will open the door for you, because that happens a lot, people make appointments to get you at their face and then they are like, what are you doing at my door again? So, but yeah, you don't want anything official at the door. You just want it to be very light, very, because you're constantly building rapport, right? Yeah.
That was good. Miss Irene said she would love to hook up with other women in the Austin area. I think I started this before in one of the communities, like a what was it called? Like a I had the map divided and then had like sub areas where people can kind of pull together. I might just put that again in the community so people that are in the same area can kind of reach out to other people and support and go out there and do some things. So I probably will bring that back. Let me see. We had another question. Do you recommend any resources or tools for lead search?
Yeah. So you can, of course, the best ones are the paid ones, but you can get the list from your county.
Yes, love those. The government list. So good question. Let me see. What else did we have? Okay, so I think that's all the questions that I have right now. Anybody else have any questions before we let her go? Um, so what I want you guys to do also is go back to the community and I want you to put some takeaways from the session. Okay, so just go back and share with everybody else. Just say, okay, this is my takeaway from the series tonight. So that way I can just see what what type of gems you guys are picking up. Okay, and let me see what else we had. Okay. So you guys, that will be awesome. Yeah, I'm creative. I just got to get all this stuff out. Like I'm a visionary, so I have to when stuff come to me, I have to be like, let me try to implement this, but then I'm pulled so many different directions. So sometimes I just have to scale back. But nonetheless, I'm open. Like I tell everybody in the community, I'm open to whatever you guys want to see. Like I've been doing interviews for a while, like long before this, like on different platforms with people, and then I'm just bringing it back. So getting the list from my county is on my to-do list. Okay. So if you are not, this is for anybody else that's watching. If you are not in a real estate million school community, make sure you join the link in the bio to get in that community, so that you can stay up to date on more series such as this, my first deal series. So we are going to be providing more series. The next one is next Monday. Okay. So next Monday, we have another one coming in. You guys will learn and listen to how they're able to get their first deal in hopes that you guys can pull something from that to help you on your, on your journey. And my advice to all of you, regardless, is to start. Okay, I need you to start. I've given you the tools. I've given you the tools. There's information everywhere, but I need you to do your part. I need you to stay committed, and I need you to stay focused, like your blinders are on. Okay. I need your blinders on. And I don't want the 2026 is coming up. I don't want that to be, if your 2025 didn't look how you wanted it to look, I need you to have your blinders on and I need you to eliminate all distractions. Like, listen, this is it. I got to figure this thing out. Okay. So just because I have the free course there, don't treat it like it's free. Treat it like it is my $500 course and say, I'm gonna get through this. I have a community here backing me, and I have to see this first year through because I need to interview y'all. Okay? I need to get y'all on this stage. I want to hear about you guys' first deal. But I just need y'all to be consistent. All right? So everybody is saying thank you for your time. Thank you. They're committed. You guys know what to do. It's Monday. You got to put your goals in the group. Okay. We're listening to her. She's got across the finish line. Okay. But now I just need you guys to get in there and set some goals for the week. Because they know. I'm all for the motivation and inspiration, but I'm more for action than anything because that's where the power happens. Okay. So with that said, everybody is saying, Chandra, do you have any last motivating words for everybody to kind of? I know I'm a motivational piece, but what can you say to them to kind of give them some takeaways from everything? You're welcome, Stacey.
I would say definitely divorce the results and be married
Mm,
to the process. We know
okay.
it's a numbers game, and
That's
um, one of the reps, I'm like, we just wired you $1,000 check. So she ended up getting about 1,500 from the deal, part of her 1% commission. And I said, how long would it have taken you making that $1,500? And she said, maybe like 3 weeks,
wow.
at her working 40 hours, working 40 hours a week, whatever, her $15 an hour. And I said, you basically, from the day you knocked the door to the day we closed, it was like 8 days.
Wow.
You can't do it anywhere else doing anything else. You have to do real estate. So does it matter if you have to knock 50 doors in 1 week?
Consistency.
Consistency. The money is there, the opportunity is there, and you just have to keep pushing. There will be a lot of no's, but you will
Mm-hmm.
be able to follow up with people because things change. Now, of course,
Yes. Follow.
foreclosure, yeah, their change is going to be more rapid. However, if they file bankruptcy, it's still a warm lead. If they
Mm-hmm.
apply for loan modification, it's still a warm lead. Because just because you get the loan modification, there's still a trial period. If people are having problems with their money in their trial period, they're going to be right back in foreclosure in Texas. And so don't give up. And if somebody doesn't like you or like what you're saying, the first interaction, just follow up in a few days. Remember, it's not you, it's what they're going through. And
That's
they're just
right.
projecting that hurt onto you. You can't take it personal.
At
But then
all.
once you do what you need to do to help them, then you move on to the next one. Okay? Because sometimes we feel like if I just keep working, if I just keep pushing with that one person, no, it's okay. There are hundreds of people, thousands of people in our county in this situation in Harris County. And so I can't get caught up on one homeowner when there are 999.
Multiple. Yep. I had one person like that. They just hung up. I was like, you can do what you can. You got to move forward. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So y'all get that. Fortune in the follow up. Fortune in the follow up, and you have to stay consistent. And that's major for you guys.
Yep.
Okay. And just stick through it. I'm just excited to see because I see and I watch and I see people in the community. I see their dedication, and for me, that's what makes me excited because I see people taking the initiative to be like, okay, I'm gonna change my life, regardless on however hard it gets or whatever deal falls through. They're still planting seeds, and that's what I like to see. Okay, so this is awesome. I'm super excited. Yeah, everybody said thank you. Awesomeness. I like that. And y'all get creative. I probably will bring back like the community thing, but like she's doing, get in the rooms in your local area. Find out who's who. Get into those local meetups, those local groups, and see who you can connect with. Y'all go out there, door knock, street team, whatever y'all need to do to get that deal closed. Okay? It's not you. It's what they are going through. Absolutely. Because we get some people like, oh, they hung up on me. They cuss me. These people don't know you. And then sometimes it is coming. it's what they're going through at the time that's weighing heavy on them, and they project that energy out towards you. Okay. So very good. Miss Sharon Powell put that on there. So yeah, I am excited. And Chandra, I want to thank you for coming on here, just giving the people like a different way to look at a way to get to these owners, because sometimes they get a little stuck. But like I said, I've taken some notes out of it. I'll probably just have a street team like, hey, you want to make a couple of a couple of $100, couple of $1,000, I'll train you what to do, and get them out there, for my leads that I call dead leads, where we can't get them on the phone or by postcard or by mail. That may be an option. I may have a street team to do that. But I like it, y'all. These type of things are life changing. And someone says, yes, I need to pay my son tuition. Her check, 5,500. You guys, some of you, that's going to be life changing income that you will be able to get. And my prayer is, and as soon as I launched the Real Estate Millions community open to the public, my prayer was for everybody who takes it serious to prosper. That's it. Because I'm going to get some people in there that's going to play around and tiptoe with it. But I said, the ones that get in here and they really focus on what I'm telling them, let them prosper. Let them see results. Okay. So with that said, y'all, we are 18 past the hour. I typically want these to go to, like an hour for you guys. But nonetheless, the Real Estate Million series has started. We will be back here next Monday so we can get another, insider's look as to what it took to get that first deal across the finish line. Right? But you guys got this. So now you guys have to get off your behinds and you have to do something. Okay? So Chandra, I want to thank you. Everybody put a fire in the chat, put a fire emoji in the chat for her. And y'all go back to the community and I need some takeaways. Okay. I need to know what you got from it. I need to know. So with that said, everybody, you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night. It's time to get to work. It's the beginning of the week. Okay. All right. I will see you guys on tomorrow. We have Wholesale Mastery Premium members. We have training tomorrow. So you guys lock in. Other than that, I will see everybody back here. Real Estate Millions, my first wholesale deal on this channel. And I forgot to tell you guys, if you are on my YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Okay, I forgot to say that. So I'm streaming them on YouTube where it's going into the community, into our Real Estate Millions. But make sure you guys hit the subscribe button for me, please. That's my only ask. And I will see you guys inside the community. Thank you all. And remember, consistency, consistency, consistency. All right. All right, Miss Chandra. Thank you so much. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Okay, y'all.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.